Tonight on Metro News, our latest Cycleway project pushes off. We meet the young golfer driving for success. And Canterbury talent showcases on a national stage. Kia ora and welcome to Metro News, a local news bulletin brought to you by the students of the New Zealand Broadcasting School. I'm Barnaby Clark.
And I'm Annabella Dick. First up tonight, biking around Christchurch, especially during the busy rebuild, is a nightmare, but not for much longer. Work has begun on the cycleway linking Canterbury University and high schools to the city. Shannon Redstall reports.
Riding a bike into the city is about to get a bit safer. You asked for them, and now new cycleways are being built.
The designs that we're doing are taking cyclists out of the traffic lane and giving them their own lane so they'll feel safer.
The aptly named track, Unicycle, will cost more than $9 million. This is phase 1, just the first 400 metres. When finished, the new cycleway will link Canterbury University to the city centre. The 5.5 kilometre cycleway is expected to be one of the busiest.
Well, it carries potentially the largest number of cyclists of the whole cycleway program in Christchurch. And connecting the city to the university was seen as a very important link to make.
Motorists will benefit too. Council reckons over 1,000 cyclists a day will use the new track to commute, so they'll be off the busy roads.
If you can get bikes out of that mainstream of traffic, especially high volume traffic and high speed traffic, you're going to increase safety quite significantly.
Expenditure on cycleways has been criticised, but the council believes when all 13 are complete, it'll save more than $1 billion over 40 years.
We won't need to spend as much money on our motorways, and motorways are hugely expensive.
The Transport Agency's latest statistics say Christchurch is responsible for almost a quarter of serious cycling accidents in the country, 40% of those happening at intersections. And there are high hopes that these new cycleways will dramatically decrease those numbers. Shannon Redstall, Metro News.
New technology is forcing taxis to rethink their services. Uber is an international ride-sharing app and it's changing the private transport game. Kirsty Stanway is covering the story and joins us now live. Kirsty.
Uber has already arrived in Auckland and in Wellington. It's a whole new way of catching a taxi and paying for it. Basically, you download an app on your mobile phone, you tap a button and an Uber arrives. And the best part about it is we're likely to have it here soon, but not without a few issues.
Request, ride and pay. That's Uber's tagline. This app gives passengers the ability to track their ride and rate the drivers, all in the palm of their hand.
They've all got GPSs hooked up into them, so when you're in a location you can see where the Ubers are so you can track them coming to you. So yeah, way easier than a taxi, I'd definitely use it.
The quick and convenient service is proving popular here and across the ditch.
Ubers are cheaper and they're faster and easier, so taxis are going to have to keep up.
Blue Star taxis are doing just that.
We've had apps out there for the last 18 months, not as technically advanced as Uber are, but they're coming. It's a changing area.
Uber are yet to confirm exactly when they'll launch in Christchurch, but when they do, their drivers will be fighting to be the first cab off the rank.
Private hires like Uber don't screen their drivers, don't need meters or security cameras, and taxi companies aren't happy with the loose rules.
So if they're carrying the same passengers as a taxi, they should be subjected to the same rules as a taxi, or the taxis should have the rules relaxed to allow them to compete against a private hire vehicle.
The Land Transport Act is currently under review to incorporate this new technology. But whether we like it or not, mobile devices are driving change everywhere.
You can see the taxi industry has a few reservations. They've passed these concerns on to the Ministry of Transport, who are reviewing the Act. It's unclear exactly how long this will take, but it's likely Uber will hit town long before those issues are resolved.
Kirsty, thank you.
We all know to keep strong and healthy, you need 5+ a day. But where is the best place to buy cheap fruit and veggies? Ruben Mama checks out a co-op which encourages people to eat better for less.
Craig Dixon has spent 23 years getting up before dawn on midweek mornings, checking off the seasonal produce people order direct through the fruit and veggie co-op. This healthy food will find its way into thousands of Canterbury homes.
It's about community resilience, about what they call food security, people getting access to good food at an affordable price. And it's all community operated, self-sustainable, food's not given away, people pay for it, but they pay at an affordable price.
The produce makes its way to 8 hubs across the city. The Beulah Church in St Albans is one of them. These people among the 200 volunteers braving the cold early mornings to make up the bags.
The team that pack with us are just fabulous. They come down, they turn out every week, no matter what the weather.
But they get a heap out of this too.
Everyone jokes and laughs amongst themselves, and it's a good environment to work in and things like that.
It really is brilliant, and people get good quality food, or good quality fruit and veggies, for a very cheap price.
Each week, buyers don't know what will be on the menu. The Fruit and Veggie Co-op provides opportunities for people to experiment. Just $12 gives you all of these options. It means individuals and families are eating the right foods, as well as saving $1 or $2. But it all goes down well.
So I've got 4 kids, and trying to get them to eat fruit and veggies is a mission. So they, look forward to seeing what they're going to get in the bags.
Me and my husband, we just really like the variety. It's quite cool, and it makes me cook different things.
Little Jasmine's even found a new favourite.
Broccoli.
Ruben Mama, Metro News.
As more foreign builders flock to Christchurch for the rebuild, concerns are growing over their welfare. Jack Price went to find out why.
These city townhouses are well underway, and half of those making it happen on site are overseas workers on skilled migrant visas.
Well, we currently have a real skills shortage with the Christchurch rebuild, so it enables us to bring that additional talent from overseas.
8,000 are here already, with a lot more still needed. But making the move and getting established can involve long hours.
Actually, in the end, that causes fatigue. It causes people that they are just here to work. They're isolated from the community.
Corbell construction worker and Welshman Craig Booker is one of the lucky ones. He says his company helps workers adjust.
And they put them with lads that have migrated, just to get used to the area, the building side of it, all the building regs, and just getting around, meeting people. That's the big thing, is meeting people.
It's not just the workers. Their families need support too.
We run networking events for migrants and their families so they can get to know each other and get to know members of the wider community.
It's hoped investing in these workers and their families will have long-term benefits for Christchurch, with many opting to stay.
I think it adds so much to the cultural heritage and well-being of Christchurch to have so many different cultures working here, so it'd be great if a lot of the people were able to stay here as permanent residents. It'd be excellent.
With a year under his belt, Craig Booker's keen to stay.
Christchurch is New Zealand is my new home now, not UK.
These workers are giving this city a welcome helping hand. But with more on the way, we just need to make sure we're giving one back. Jack Price, Metro News.
Still to come on Metro News, we meet the girl who quit school to work on a farm and how this dog is helping with child safety. Welcome back. Next we meet a young woman who's following her dreams. She left school at just 17 to go farming and is now running a property near Cheviot. Russell Maloney visits a teenager determined to live on the land.
Mid-morning traffic. This is the life for Louisa.
It's been really good. It's definitely good living in the hills and getting away from all the city and traffic and whatnot.
But this Cheviot 17-year-old isn't bringing the sheep in for fun. She's made the call to work on her family farm, leaving high school at the end of year 12.
It was hard on the fact that I was leaving behind all my friends, and that was definitely the harder part. But once I'd left, they all kept in contact with me. And
with the help of her granddad, Graham McClintock, they farm 970 hectares, 5,000 sheep and 140 odd cows, keeping them busy.
Granddad was my main inspiration to the whole of it. Ever since I was little, he was sort of pushed me in the direction of being a farmer.
But Granddad doesn't give much away when he's asked what it's like working with his teenage granddaughter.
Oh, pretty good.
Farming has many challenges. Added to the fact that you're 17 years old, things are always going to be hard. But as you can see, Louisa has things well under control. But she'll admit it does pose a few challenges.
It's probably hard in the fact that guys have a lot of strength compared to me. The strength is like the only downfall to it all, I guess. But, you know, like they say, we can do anything, so why not give it a go?
Including hunting, and she has the trophies to back it up.
This pig draw in particular, we chased around for a couple of days. So it took me a while to get him, but end result, I did. So couldn't be more happier.
It's a different mob from the crowd at Girls High, but right now, for Louisa, farming is the right fit. Russell Maloney, Metro News.
And another teenager with big ambitions. At 15 years of age, most girls are obsessing over their hair straighteners. But we've found a young sports star who's got a whole lot more on her agenda. Louis Watt has more on the story and joins us now live. Louis.
Like many other people, I enjoy a quiet swing on a golf course. And when you see talent, it's not hard to spot it. For Amelia Garvey, she's got loads of it. She's played golf her whole life and recently been named in the national junior team. Shortly, she'll be going overseas to compete in the Junior World Champs. Amelia Garvey's aiming high.
To be world #1 in the end, yeah. So, and just have fun as well. Like, I play golf because I love it.
While the greens at Cycleway Club are home, the Burnside High Year 11 student wants to go places. Her first Junior World Champs in Japan this month, her next stop.
It's not just about playing good golf, it's about learning things and meeting new people.
Amelia's had the same coach since she was 7. Jason Tilley says her levels of maturity will help her to be great.
When you look at other stars that have gone so far as, you know, Lydia Ko, Tiger Woods, everyone says how mature they are for her age, and, you know, I think Amelia's got all those attributes.
Amelia looks up to those stars, admiring their hard work and dedication. But she's mindful of her roots here at Kaiapoi.
They've done so much for me. Tom Whitaker and the juniors just supported me so much.
With 2 New Zealand Opens already under her belt, Amelia's been exposed to the pressures of high-level sport. Far from being scared off, she says she thrives on it.
No, I like the pressure. Like, the pressure is what we play for. Just being in competitions and being in the position to win, that's what you want to be.
With the attitude of a winner and the aspirations of a champion, there's no reason Japan won't be a success. She flies out exactly 1 week from today, and although the tournament won't tee off until the 16th, her and her team will walk the course a couple of times and come up with a plan of attack. The tournament will run for 3 days, and golfers right around the country are wishing them the best.
Thanks, Louis.
Dogs are furry, friendly and lots of fun, but caution around canines is crucial. A local program is touring schools promoting dog safety. Annabella Garvey got some top tips when the team visited New Brighton Catholic School.
It's lunchtime at school. Time for a break. But when Jump Jam brings playtime to a close, it's time for a different kind of lesson. The Dog Smart team's here, with Jock at centre stage, teaching kids how to be safe around our four-legged friends.
We don't want the child to be scared of a dog, we want them to have positive experiences.
The City Council-funded program's been running for 15 years, the team getting important messages across in a fun way. Dog Smart's often called in after a dog attack on a child. With a pupil injured in the past and a grassy domain nearby, this school wanted to act to protect its kids. The lessons cover the basics.
When you're walking in to pet that dog, you need to go slowly.
And the messages seem to stick.
If you go up near a dog, you have to make sure that you have no fingers poking out, otherwise the dog will try to bite your fingers.
In Christchurch alone, there are more than 35,000 dogs, and that's why the Dog Smart program aims to help children stay safe around them, because at the end of the day, there are future dog owners.
And even if they take away just one thing,
if a dog's on its own, leave it alone.
Dog Smart's happy. Annabella Garvey, Metro News.
The police building's been blown up, but what's replacing it? Emily van Veldhoven is with City Councillor Jamie Goff in the studio to talk about Christchurch's future. Emily.
Thank you, Barnaby, and welcome, Jamie. The rebuild is in full swing now, just having imploded the police building over the weekend to make way for Ngāi Tahu's new multi-million-dollar apartment complex and offices. Now, Jamie, what's the difference with not having the old police building there?
Well, the view's a bit better. You can see the Port Hills for starters. And to be fair, it wasn't the most attractive of buildings. So I'm pretty excited about their new development, and bringing in people to the city is a really positive step forward.
Jamie, Ngāi Tahu haven't built accommodation like this before in Christchurch. Are there any risks?
Look, there's always risks with developments, but I think it would be more of a risk to not be investing in Christchurch. You know, we've seen a lot of local developers which have got a real passion for the city, but they've still invested offshore. You know, Singapore, Sydney, we've seen a local developer take their money and put it into Texas. So I think there's going to be nothing worse for the rebuild if you have those people that have got that vested interest and the passion for the city, and if they can't make it work and they lose interest, you're not going to get offshore investment. So having that existing customer base, for lack of a better word, reinvesting in the city is really positive. Ngāi Tahu have done Preston's Road development, so they're well versed in it, and I think it will be fantastic for the city.
What will this mean for the terrace and the Avon precinct?
It's just bringing people. You know, someone far wiser than me said it's all about people, 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 and I think that if you can bring in a residential population, that ensures that so much else happens as a result of it. It just means that the coffee shops are busier. All of a sudden, you've got people that are living and playing there, and you know, you don't want to have a 9-to-5 city. It's going to be a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week city, and I think that's really exciting. All the most successful cities in the world have got a strong residential population, so bringing in people is absolutely critical to the future of Christchurch, I think.
What do you think actually needs to go here? Does this area even need accommodation?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we've got 30,000 people that are coming here for the rebuild alone. It's a $40 billion rebuild. Housing's really expensive. So the more that you have available, the market forces mean that the competition allows for the prices to be more affordable. So affordable housing and places for people to live is absolutely critical. And I think the success of the central city is actually the success of all of the suburbs. You know, it's the one place that's owned by everyone, from Aranui through to Akaroa to Linwood. Everyone has a central city, and that's your metropolitan heart. You don't go to Sydney and say, I want to stay in Sydney suburbs. You want to stay in the heart of the city, so having a strong heart is absolutely essential.
Tell me, why is it important for Ngāi Tahu to have a presence in the city centre?
Well, I think Ngāi Tahu needs to back the rebuild. Everyone says that we want to have a strong heart, but we're not going to do that if people take their money offshore or put it out into the suburbs. So I think it shows a real commitment to the rebuild and the future of Christchurch. So some of those big players really putting their money where their mouth is a very positive signal.
Jamie, what do we have to look forward to?
Oh, I think there's a heap to look forward to. You know, like I said, it's a $40 billion rebuild, and it's not just having the bright, shiny things isn't what it's all about. The process of it is great. It's exciting. There's, you know, so many different cultures and everything here. So, you know, even through to the interesting foods and cultures and the cuisines and everything like that is great. But it just means that as a result of those people coming here, there is so many different perspectives that come here. And Christchurch can be a bit backwards, you know, a bit conservative. You know, first 4 ships, what school do you go to, rubbish. And that's being fast-tracked out of here, and I think that's a really good thing.
Well, Jamie, thank you for coming in and shedding light on this interesting topic. Back to you, Annie.
Still to come on Metro News, an electrifying new musical hits Canterbury Uni, and 2 arts come together in a powerful wartime show. Welcome back. Students are swapping study to sing in this year's university musical. Emily van Veldhoven went along to check out one of their rehearsals.
Walking into this classroom late on a Thursday night, you won't find a group of students studying. Instead, you'll find them singing their hearts out. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canterbury Uni's Musical Society is travelling back into the 70s, bringing Grease to the stage.
Hey you guys, what's shaking?
The ensemble's an unlikely bunch, among them wannabe lawyers, engineers, business and sports students. Angus Simmons, a second-year arts student, cast in his first lead.
As being a performance music student, I'm always looking for the opportunity to perform and get on stage.
Unlike his rebellious character Danny Zuko, Angus is worried about keeping up with his studies alongside the show.
It'll have an impact, like most things do in everyday life when you're trying to study and things get so busy.
Whether under the lights or behind the scenes, every student has a role.
You two. Hey Marty, who'd you get for economics? Oh man, drag. Yeah, a lot of drag.
The show is completely student-run, with a limited budget, but a lot of fun.
Everyone's really passionate about what they're doing, and it's all volunteer, and you know, we've still got uni and work and stuff.
the skills that you just learn from being part of a group in theatre. It's good when you go to the workforce because, I mean, we've got a lot of big characters here.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Characters who've got 3 months to shape up before the opening in September. Emily van Veldhoven, Metro News.
Sam joins us now with some weather news. Sam, what have you got in store for us?
Well, Barnaby, across most of the country today, there's been no sign of sun, and I don't think anyone can argue that it's been a bit of a wet one here as well. But tomorrow in the Garden City, the rain disappears and we'll have clear skies, but it is going to be a brisk start with a chilly 2 degrees. If you want to head outdoors, you might need an extra layer or two as it will only get bumped up to 9 degrees, with moderate winds during the day. It's not too different across Canterbury as the regions hope to cling on to those warmer temperatures. Ashburton, Darfield and Akaroa all just fall short of double figures throughout the day. Ashburton, you're the unfortunate ones slipping into negatives on -1. In North Canterbury, all 3 centres hit 9 degrees, but I'm sorry, Hanma Springs, you'll be de-icing those cars in the morning, getting down to -2. So all in all, it's looking like it'll be a dry day for our Friday, something we can't really complain about. Back to you, Barnaby and Annabelle.
Thanks, Sam. Normally, you wouldn't expect to find Army boys at the ballet. Shannon Redstall checks out what they're up to.
It's a collaboration between the ballet and the Army boys.
They love the idea. It's something completely different. Gets them out of their comfort zone a little bit.
And the band is proud to be performing something close to their heartstrings.
Obviously, we're soldiers. We share the same heritage that those that gave their lives 100 years ago, and it's very special for us to be involved in this 100th year commemoration.
These musicians are backing the ballet all over the country, but the local shows are extra special.
It is brilliant. I mean, we all live in Canterbury. We're based out at Burnham Military Camp. We all make our home in Christchurch and in Canterbury, and it's always great getting back in front of the home crowd.
The work of Christchurch-born choreographer Andrew Simmons also features. Andrew Simmons, who is now based in Germany, says he was honoured to create something for Salute. He wants his piece, Dear Horizon, to reflect the emotions of those felt during the First World War. And playing with the Army band kept the dancers on their toes.
That was an exciting experience. I mean, to have the Army band in the pit is a really nice experience, and they play very well.
After completing their national season, they're off to Europe.
And obviously in our international tour in the end of the year, we will bring Dear Horizon with us, like a flag of a New Zealand style.
With music recorded to accompany the dancers overseas, the Army band will continue to be there in sound and spirit. Shannon Redstall, Metro News.
And that's Metro News for tonight.
For these stories and more, head to our website, metronews.co.nz. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Join us again tomorrow night on CTV. I'm Barnaby Clark.
And I'm Annabelle Dick.
Good night.